Hello, and welcome to Read Us a Story. What shall we read today? How about Ben and Holly, Honeybees? It's a lovely sunny day, and everyone is enjoying a picnic on Picnic Hill. Yummy! Honey sandwiches, my favourite, says King Thistle. Suddenly, they hear a noise. Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. Bees! Buzz off! Go away! Says King Thistle as the bees buzz around him. I don't like bees. You don't like bees? Asks Ben. But bees made the honey in your sandwiches. Really? Says King Thistle. How did they do that? Bees eat nectar from flowers, then turn it into honey in their hives, says Mr. Elf. Ben and Holly want to visit a beehive. Good idea, says King Thistle. I like honey. You can bring me back a nice fresh jar. Ben, Holly, Nanny Plum and Mr. Elf go to the beehive. The queen bee arrives with all her bees. Bees always follow the queen, says the wise old elf. He is the beekeeper, which is a very important job. We have come to get a jar of honey for King Thistle, Nanny Plum tells the wise old elf. Getting honey is very dangerous, says the wise old elf. The hive is full of thousands of bees, and every one of them has a stinger. But do not worry, I have a plan. A calm, safe, and sensible plan. The wise old elf's plan is to dress up as a bee. We will send the bees to sleep. Then Mrs. Elf will lower me into the beehive to collect the honey. If the bees wake up, they will think I'm a bee, so they won't sting me. Sounds like a silly plan to me, says Nanny Plum. Nanny Plum uses a spell to put the bees to sleep. Then Mrs. Elf lowers the wise old elf into the hive. Down a bit. Left a bit. No! Right a bit. The wise old elf collects a jar of sweet, runny honey. But what's that noise? Bzzz. Bzzz. Uh-oh! The bees have woken up. Help! Get me out of here! Shouts the wise old elf. The bees chase the wise old elf out of the hive and all the way to the little castle. They think he's the queen bee, says Ben. Here's your jar of honey, says the wise old elf to King Thistle. What good service, says King Thistle. You're even dressed as a bee. Oh no! Now the bees have landed on the little castle. They think it's their new hive. Buzz off, cries King Thistle. Go away! Follow that bee! Lift me up, Mrs. Elf, shouts the wise old elf. The bees chase the wise old elf again, all the way back to the hive. The wise old elf takes off his bee costume and drops it into the hive. Look, shouts Holly, the bees are going back inside. There you are, a jar of honey, says the wise old elf. I told you my plan was calm, safe, and sensible. Everyone laughs. What's the matter? Asks the wise old elf. Haven't you ever seen an elf in his underpants before? And that was Ben and Holly, Honeybees. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, be sure and like the video. And remember, you can always subscribe at Read Us a Story. Thanks. Bye!